Welcome back to my channel, and this is basically a part two, or rather continuation of the upload a few days ago where I talked about the men's singles, and today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on the women's singles draw for the BWF World Championship 2022, which will be happening next week. So let's go into the draw. Now, the for the women's singles top half, what we see here is Akane Yamaguchi, who is the top seed of the tournament, and definitely she will be all pumped up to do well because this is in Japan, her home country, and being the top seed, she will definitely be eager to justify her position. And she will be meeting the winner of the match between Kirsty Gilmore and Mariska Gregoria Tunjung. Now, if I recall correctly, the Indonesian women's singles player has been starting to rediscover her previous form, and I think that Kirsty would be facing a difficult challenge to actually upstage the Indonesian player. So I would favor Mariska to progress to face off Akane Yamaguchi. And then we move on to Kim Ga-eun against Linus Kajasfeld from Denmark. I think Kim Ga-eun should have the slight edge over the Danish player, but we all know that this Danish women's single player can actually do really well if they can find their form. But overall, on the average basis, I would think that the Korean would have the upper hand. Now, then we will be having the Akane against Mariska Gibora Tunjung, which I feel that it could be a close encounter, but I am still favoring Akane to actually progress. Because to be very frank, Yamaguchi has not been playing at her level best in the most recent series of tournaments, but she should still be able to edge past the Indonesian. The match between Kim Ga-eun and Sayaka Takahashi would be interesting to watch because it could be a rather balanced encounter, but I think Sayaka might have the slight upper hand over the Korean. And assuming that this clash is taking place, I feel that Akane should be making into the quarterfinal. And then we move on to the next section where we have Carolina Marin, who will be facing off the winner of the match between Zhang Wenyu from Canada against Theta Fuza from Myanmar. I've actually seen this Burmese player, and she's really good. I mean, overall, she has got a solid footwork and agile movement, so I am actually favoring the Burmese player. But should she clash with Carolina Marin? I think Carolina should be able to advance, although again, just like Akane Yamaguchi, she has not been playing at her level best, although she has won the European Championship recently, but she's still quite far from her best. But we'll see. Next, we have Herbin Zhao, who will be facing off the winner between an Israeli player, Ksenia Polikarpova, against Iris Wang from USA. I am favoring the US player. high risk. But should they clash, He Bingjiao for sure. And if He Bingjiao is to clash with Marine, this could be a very, very interesting match because it really depends on Marine, on Carolina's performance on the day. If she can perform, she would definitely take it. But in terms of the stability, the consistency, I am picking He Bingjiao over Carolina. And should these clash be taking place, this would be a very, very mouth-watering clash between Akane and He Bingjiao. And this time around, I am favoring He Bingjiao simply because she has been playing some really good badmintons over the past few tournaments. Now moving down to the next quarter, we have An Se-young, the talented An Se-young from Korea, against the winner between Ayao Hori and Nguyen Thuy Linh from Vietnam. Nguyen Thuy Linh is kind of an average all-rounder type kind of a player with a good stamina, but I would say in terms of skill, I think Ayao Hori should be able to advance. And should they clash, I would favor the third seed to actually advance. Zhang Weiwen against the winner of Christine Kuba against Leonie Huet. I will be favoring Christine Kuba because I think she has shown some good string of results in the European middle tier competitions. So I think Christine Kuba would be able to take it, and in fact, I would think that perhaps Christine Kuba might be able to upset the Zhang Weiwen from USA. This is a very daring prediction, but I think she has what it takes. And as we all know, it's kind of a sad because Pusalam and Kata Sindhu wouldn't be able to participate due to her injury, and which means that Han Yu, the winner of the match between Han Yu and Qi Xuefei, will be able to advance to the round 3. I would favor the Chinese player. Wang Ziyi, another up-and-coming Asian champion, in fact, against the winner between Malvika and Line Christophersen. For this, I would favor the Danish women's singles player. And should they clash, it would be Wang Ziyi to lose it. Now, if this happens as predicted, An Se-young against Christine Kuba, it would be An Se-young. Han Yu against Wang Ziyi. Wang Ziyi, simply because of her superior performance against, in fact, quite a few of her teammates. Yeah. And should this clash be taking place, it will be another cracker. But I think An Se-young should be able to make it, despite her relatively poor performance in the Southeast Asian tour, largely due to some food poisoning issue and all that. But having rested well enough, I think An Se-young should have the upper hand against Wang Ziyi. And we move on to the bottom half. Lien Tan from Belgium against Yip Hui Yin, a veteran from Hong Kong. I think Lien Tan should be able to make it simply because I think Yip Hui Yin has been absent from major tournament for quite some time. So, and Lien Tan will be facing off with Michelle Lee, which I think Michelle Lee should be making to the third round. Taiwan against Payupo, a tough match indeed, but I think the Thai should be able to advance against her own countrymate, Ratchanok Internal, and I am favoring the former world champion, simply because I think she has also been starting to find, rediscovering her previous form, slowly but surely. Yeo Jamin against Sim Eugene. To be honest, Sim Eugene, this player, I've been watching over her for quite a few tournaments since her historical effort in making, helping her team to lift the Uber Cup, but she has not been living up to my expectation. But and against the Commonwealth bronze medalist Yeo Jamin, perhaps I would think that Singaporean might have the advantage simply based on their recent form. Against Pornpawi Cho Chu Wong, it would be a tough match for Yeo Jamin. So I think Pornpawi should be able to advance to the third round. Against the winner, Putri Kusuma Wardani against Sonia Cha. Now this is very interesting because Sonia Cha has not been playing any tournament for such a long time. And in fact, I think since Olympic 2020, if I'm not wrong, where she was actually playing her matches by carrying injuries. So it will be interesting to watch this, and to be very frank, I might be picking Sonia Cha over the Indonesian. However, against Chen Yufei, they would stand no chance at all, simply because Chen Yufei has been such a consistent player this year. In fact, since winning the gold medal in the Olympic Games last year, 2 years ago, she has always been making to the at least semi-final. So Chen Yufei for sure. And if all goes as predicted, Ratchanok should be able to beat Michelle Lee, the Commonwealth silver medalist. And the match between Pornpawi and Chen Yufei, it would definitely be Chen Yufei, the heavy favorite. And then we move on to the last quarter of the women's singles category. We have the Egyptian player Doha Hani against Yvonne Lee. I would pick the German to advance against another good player from Thailand, Busanan, which I think the Thai should be having the edge. Saina Neville against Chong Lan Yi from Hong Kong. Saina Neville for sure. I think she would be all pumped up because she wasn't selected to play in the Commonwealth Games, so I guess that would give her all the more reason to put up a good show in this World Championship. Against Nozomi Okuhara, I'm actually favoring Saina, simply because, yeah, one reason being her being omitted from Commonwealth Games, and also I think she has slowly been playing somewhere near to her better half of level of play. Yeah, so sign up for sure. I mean, not for sure, but yeah, I'm favoring her slightly over Nozomi Okuhara. T Trung from Vietnam against Kisona. It will be tough for the Malaysian player to advance simply because of multiple injuries and yeah, so for that reason I think I will pick the Vietnamese player. Against Mia Blichfeld from Denmark, I think the Danish would have the advantage. Martina Rupiska from Slovakia against Ukraine, Maria Utility and Tina. To be very honest, I do not know both of these players, so I'm going to give it a pass. But Tai Zuying should be able to make it to the third round. Now, Busanan against Saina would be an interesting match, and I think the younger player should have the edge over Saina. And Tai Zuying against Mia Bridgefeld. Tai Zuying would be my pick. And assuming that this is the outcome, Ratchanok against Chen Yufei, it will be a good match, another good match. I think they have clashed recently in Singapore or Malaysia, I can't remember. And so, yeah, Chen Yufei again, for sure. Up against Tai Zuying again. Yep, I have to stress the word again because they have been clashing in a few epic encounters over the past few tournaments, and if I'm not wrong, it is rather balanced. Tai Zuying wins some and won some, and Chen Yufei won some. So this would be the match of the tournament for sure. So just to recap, we have Hebing Jiao against An Se-young in the semi-finals at the top half, while for the bottom half it will be Chen Yufei against Tai Zuying. That is all for my prediction. If you have a differing opinion, please leave a comment down below. Thank you for